Hello, everybody. Blaze here with some more Starcraft Mass Recall. And, well, we are the Zerg, we have arrived on Char, and we have a Chrysalis with us. What's in the Chrysalis? Who knows?
I do so love surprises.
Well, everybody who's played, the original Starcraft knows, but for the rare person who might not have played the original game, I'm not going to say anything.
Because spoilers.
Because, 12, 14-year-old spoilers?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yes. And I mean, you can't. It's not even the same as the old, for example, Darth Vader spoiler, because this one is completely central to the rest of the entire fucking franchise's plot. It would be like saying Luke Skywalker becomes a Jedi is a big fucking spoiler.
Yeah.
Here we go, finally the loading screen's done. Okay, so let's see what dear Mr. Overmind has to say about this.
Behold the power of that which is yet unborn, for the swirling images that flow forth from the Chrysalis are only a shadow of the sleeper's true power.
The psionic emanations of the Chrysalis have reached out into the depths of space and lured our enemies to us. Even now, we are aware of their plans.
All squadrons close formation. Scan for hostiles. Emperor Arcturus believes that there's Zerg out here, so it's our job to flush them out. I don't want any slip-ups this time. We'll show these critters that they can't run from the truth.
Engage the Terran forces with care. Your priority is to protect the Chrysalis at all costs.
I've always found that fascinating. Apparently, Zerg telepathy is completely compatible with, the radio transmissions and shit of the, Terran technology. How fucking coincidental is that?
It's science!
It's fucking biology, is what it is, apparently.
It's also science!
And I have
biology is a field of science.
Shut up. Yeah, got me a few Hydralisks and some Mutalisks, and of course, the mature Chrysalis. And of course, they're using the same model shown in the that one very brief flashback during Wings of Liberty.
Mm-hmm. And the Heart of the Swarm campaign if you ever fuck up with any of the heroes under your command.
Well, yeah, that too. But I'm pretty sure they were using that model before that.
True.
Yeah, I have Mutalisks this time around.
Yay! Creative, what is it? Critical mass of Mutalisks where you just hit something and everything in 5 miles dies.
That would take forever. However, Mutalisks do have their place on this map. But only if you're not silly and try to attack from the ground path that's provided for you. Because that would be very silly.
And because you're fighting the Terrans. And as we've used very liberally throughout the last campaign, they have ways to make our lives hell on the ground.
Like I said, attacking from that ground path would be very silly.
Mm-hmm.
Bordering on suicidal. Well, not bordering. Very hardcore into the suicidal territory.
Throw enough Zerglings at it and you'll eventually swamp it.
That'd be a lot of Zerglings. And just making
There's always never enough Zerglings.
It's a Zerg, of course there isn't. Friggin' overlords. I went
More of the floating fat men.
floating They're organic blimps with brains.
Bring me the floating fat man.
I'm not getting the reference here.
Dune.
I think.
One of the major characters is referred to as the floating fat man.
I see.
Points to anyone who's listening and actually gets that reference.
Who knows? Maybe someone will like comment on the video someday with that or something. I don't know. Someone will answer it for me. What? You just told me that. You just told me what it was, and I had already forgotten. But yes. Not. Whatever.
Whatever. It's nothing major.
Hatchery number 2. They have stuff coming in. So I should probably.
Oh my god, that looks so cool.
Yeah.
I'm still farting around in Space Engineers.
Of
As
course.
you yourself have said, the sky is blue, the grass grows, and I screw around in Space Engineers.
Yep. And starting to get myself a few Zerglings. Because Zerglings!
Zerglings! All the Zerglings!
And get me an evolution chamber.
Also, going off something that we've discussed last time around,
Yeah.
Zerglings seem to be, at least as far as I've seen in scale comparisons, they're like the size of, like, an African large cat, rather than a dude.
Hmm.
Or an incredibly big dog. Which, as Sarge and Lester pointed out, that's no one's dog.
Yeah, that's a little bit bigger than a dog, my friend. 2 evolution chambers because fuck it, get shit faster.
Mm-hmm.
More Zerglings!
More Zerglings and more Cracklings
And just
and Speedlings.
stick a couple of colonies to turn into sunken colonies over there, and because there's actually I need to clear a way up here. Up here too. A couple things to get rid of up here, namely those marines and that vulture.
Hi, guys.
Bye, guys. One sec, and friggin' overlords. I always forget about the supply buildings. Always, always, always.
You're a lot more on top of it with the Terrans because you actually have to make the depots.
Yeah.
And because overlords take a freaking long time to spawn.
What the? Oh. Look at this. Zerglings in a large group really make short work of vultures.
Mm-hmm. If you throw enough Zerglings at anything, you can kill it.
Of course. And because extra resources, I'm gonna make a hatchery up here right the fuck away.
Hell, I bet you if you had enough Zerglings, you could do like a DayZ, like, Zergling pile all the way up into the atmosphere to hit air units.
I can sort of see it happening.
Have you seen that?
No, I have not.
I haven't seen DayZ either, but I've seen the scenes. It's simply all of the zombies dogpile onto this massive wall, which is like the Great Wall of China done a second time. It doesn't work. And they just climb up over one another until they're over the fucking wall. And I can easily see Zerglings doing that to, like, battle cruisers, if there's enough of them.
I want to see it. I won't lie. I want to see that.
Just this huge mountain of Zerglings, and they're all climbing up one another to get at the battlecruiser, and the battlecruiser's
Yes.
like, "Oh fuck!"
It's like, Jesus Christ, that shit ain't right. Like it's like the Ultralisk upgrade, like the
Rask.
yes, the Ultralisk evolution mission in Heart of the Swarm. It's like, it got back up. Oh man, that ain't right. Taking more drones at my base. Ooh, you are going to be an extractor. Because more gas, because Mutalisks are hell on your gas reserves.
That's actually a thing with the Zerg too. Is a lot of their stuff is really Vespene intensive.
Zerg need. Zerg Force takes lots of gas. What can I say? Probably doesn't smell very good.
Go forth and gather me burritos, my drones.
Exactly.
Spawn more overlords.
We're gonna. At least all these overlords are gonna have a point in this mission, besides just being there to control shit.
That's actually annoyed me about those stupid things too. Not only are there your transports, but they're the least efficient of all of the different supply things. Like, they only give you 8 supply, don't they?
That's the same for pylons and fly depots too. Yeah,
Oh,
they all
okay,
give
must
they
be
all give 8.
Starcraft 2 where that's the difference.
Is there a difference between them in StarCraft 2?
I think so. I think with like Terran's supply depots give you 10, as with pylons, but with Zerg overlords only give you 8.
I'll have to double check that at some point. Maybe I'll
I
like
could be wrong. I
maybe-
often am.
maybe I'll like check it in like a normal game and then just sort of add it as an annotation or something on the video. Who knows?
I could just be hating on the Zerg supply system, but I'm pretty certain that they don't start off with that much. That or the hatcheries provide less than the other main buildings.
Yeah, it's the hatcheries.
inside.
Hatcheries provide one control, whereas everything, both of the other main buildings provide 10 or something. Yeah, the hatchery is far less. Got speed. Then actually get transporting. Not gonna lie, I thought it was the transport button that I clicked first. Turns out it wasn't. It was speed.
Oh well.
Not complaining. Faster transports is never a bad thing.
It's kind of like a needed thing anyways if you want them to do anything.
Basically. Slowly but surely. Oh yeah, I should probably get my flyers grades 2. That's sort of a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Flyer. Go figure. Flyers don't use ground unit upgrades.
Yeah.
Not gonna bother with a second spire to speed that up. I'm just gonna, when I'm satisfied with my attacking force and how many overlords I have to carry them all, I'll just sort of move
That's
out.
another StarCraft 2 thing that's kind of bugging me.
Hmm?
The Terrans have all of their upgrades folded into just infantry and vehicles now.
Yeah, that was interesting. Just infantry vehicle. Then again, well, Zerg aren't quite as bad in that respect, and in that it's separated into just ground and air, but they are separated into ground ranged and ground.
Ground melee.
Yeah,
Protoss are the same though.
yeah.
Well,
Protoss.
actually, no, Protoss are the worst because they're just ground shields, air.
Yeah. Like, Protoss do have an advantage in that regard. Like, they're just... The Protoss upgrades are just... work the same as... Terran upgrades work the same, and now, like, after these changes, Terran upgrades work the same as Protoss, it's just the Protoss also have shields to worry about. Toss the flyer armor in the queue, just for the hell of it. What the? Oh, right. That's a thing. Guys.
Oh, yeah.
Protect the Overlords.
Alright, that's something we kind of have to worry about, ain't it?
Yeah,
Yeah, flying units too.
Yes, I should probably make a few spore colonies. Yeah, because, as just about every other mass recall player will mention, it's the crawlers aren't a thing in StarCraft. Like, the crawlers for StarCraft 2 aren't a thing in StarCraft 1 Brood War, and therefore mass recall. It's the colonies, which also double as your creep tumors, sort of.
That I did like.
Oh, right, it's saying overlords, not gas or minerals. Derp.
Because base defenses being base defenses, the Zerg were probably the most inflexible, and I felt the least effective as far as defenses actually went.
Oh?
Having the crawlers around that were able to move around was at least helpful.
Yeah. How many mutalisks? Got 18 mutalisks, plus 2 more coming out that I just queued up. Yeah, I'm satisfied with that. Just got a good
Have we
lot
reached
of...
critical mass?
Yeah, I think I've reached something resembling that.
StarCraft 2 players will know what I'm referring to as far as Mutalisk critical mass goes. For the rare few who don't, it's simply a number at which you have enough Mutalisks to either one-shot or incredibly damage anything that you can come across.
Yeah, it's pretty much how it goes. I don't think it's like technically. What? Ooh, that bastard's sending a dropship. Oh well, he's got other things to worry about in a minute.
For those uninitiated, I mean, the Mutalisk fires a little bouncing thing, like a boomerang.
Yeah,
Well,
that much is consistent with StarCraft. Oh, hey, look at that.
And critical mass with Mutalisk is achieved once they, like, there's enough of them where they fire a thing, it bounces, it rebounds off something, and rebounds back again. And there's just so many of their stupid projectiles bouncing around that they just annihilate everything that they hit.
Yep. And at this point, I just sort of tell the rest of my shit to just sort of go, and I just take my Mutalisks and use them sort of as a task force to just hit everything that I mainly just have them focus on turrets and tanks. Well,
as annoying as they are, Mutalisks are actually very good flying units.
Only if they're massed in large numbers, to be honest.
Yeah, the critical mass.
Yeah, Mutalisks require the critical mass, whereas scouts are just too fucking expensive.
Terrans really didn't have a good multifunction unit until, like, the Viking in StarCraft 2.
Oh, well, I really lucked out there, because they were pounding at my shit. Motherfucker!
Fall back! Fall back!
Hold, Cerebrate. Do not pursue them.
Cerebrate, you must stay and relocate the
Is
to a more secure location.
They were attacking my base, and they destroyed the Chrysalis in the middle of the thing.
That's
Is it
a bug.
Yeah, but it still gave me the doesn't count. It still gave me the victory.
Yay.
I'll fucking take it. This recording is staying just because I'm actually gonna leave that. I'm actually gonna leave this part of the video just to highlight that because there was actually a similar bug that used to exist earlier in the later in the campaign that got caught when the same thing could happen to the one that comes out of said Chrysalis.
Aha.
It happened in a later level where she could die.
Said Ahem must survive the mission. Huh?
Yeah, and basically, it's happened in several levels where Blank must survive the mission, but ends up dying like during the victory cutscene and defeat message plays. But it's interesting that the defeat screen shows up, but the cinematic kept playing and showed these triggers and stuff. So I'm going to leave this as part of the video, just so the makers, if they happen to take a look at this, can see that and correct that.
Do the necessary troubleshooting and try and get that fixed.
Well, it's a simple matter of either turn on invincibility for the damn thing once the cinematic starts, or like if it dies, like make sure all triggers and like cutscenes stop or something if you want to go that route. But for the rest of you, it's just a nice little bit of comedy. For now, this is Blake signing off.
Bye-bye.